edited videos all day. Press the save button. The computer screen blasts a series of brisk shutdown tones, and then it goes out. Dang 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 dang. My dead cover in front of the computer finally leaned back in relief. I often lose my breath. Exactly. He is a little flaw, an ordinary little grandmother. Just like any other grandmother. Cut video. Returning private messages is his daily routine at home. Complex and tricky but fulfilling. Resigning to be an internet celebrity is forced, but I have to say that his fan growth rate is really impressive. It's almost unbelievable to say Dipper. Hey, Zidang Apu is good, but whether it's for his growing belly, or for his empty wallet, he has to find a part-time job. Where to go part-time? Starbucks definitely can't go anymore. Being locked in the dishwasher by a partner and touching his butt. He really didn't want to experience it a second time. You can't get rich by buying lottery tickets after all. Women's clothing is also not accepted. Think about it. This father, it seems that there is really no suitable and satisfactory part-time job. The dead cover is supported on the table with one hand on the chin. I want to break my head. I have never been able to come up with a reliable result. The warm night wind blows in through the window, with a constant gentle wind in my ears, like a beautiful lullaby. And see sleepy splash. Damn it, eyelashes drooping on a tired arm. The brain is getting more and more dizzy, just as he was about to close his eyes. A crisp cracking sound suddenly rang overhead. Boom! Gradually distant thoughts, like being suddenly thrown into a pool of stones, was interrupted abruptly. Deaf guy suddenly woke up from the fog. The head was almost carved on the table. He looks up. I found that the whole room was pitch black. Hey, the light bulb burst, and he looked around subconsciously. Gray curtains. The moonlight that automatically shines into the room without wind is very dark. I can't see my fingers in the room. Darkness gradually filled every corner. It has a sense of competition like a black forest. It's really weird. Room with lights out. Obviously, it has never been so gloomy. Four unconsciously shouted, slowly propped up from the chair. Get ready to go to the living room to check the switch in the dark. The moment he turned around, he saw it. He saw it. A terrifying scene he will never forget for the rest of his life. Half a meter away from him, spooky patterns like magic on the floor. Emergence. Every stroke flashed with a dazzling blood-red light. Everything was so unexpected. The dead cover was scared stiff on the spot. Instinctively held his breath. It was made up in that strange formation. A moment of unity. Can't find the source. The wind suddenly became centered on the pattern. Spiral inversion. Form a sharp, powerful inward tornado. The sand is wrapped in a strange red light. The room was turned upside down at once. The huge wind seems to be devouring people deeply. Dead cover. I just feel like I'm being sucked in by a strong force. Dragging in a panic, he subconsciously tried his best to grab a corner of the desk, so as not to be involved in the penalty formation. As expected of me. I don't know how long it has been. The wind gradually subsided. Like a rebirth, I exhausted all my strength. Finally, the feet sit on the ground with the soft detachment. It was cleaned and it was a mess. The red light of the French war is gradually extinguished. Darkness enveloped the room again. Sudden paranormal phenomena are too unreal. Die Guy tries to keep himself calm, but the instinctive stress response prompted by extreme fear still immobilize him. The surging sand slashed the back of his hand. The pain of jumping and jumping. He was pretty sure he wasn't dreaming. Whispering outside the window. Silence all around. The whole room is torn apart. Big gasps. Atmosphere in the air. Unknowingly, it was stained with a trace of weirdness. Just then, this guy heard desperately, where the circle disappeared just now. Suddenly, footsteps rang out. Pop, pop, pop. Snapping dignified leather shoes indoors. Empty echo, like a sad song before death. It's creepy. Ghost is ghost. It's hell. All thoughts are condensed. The whole brain is just left with creeping fear. Ripped open and huddled in the corner of the table. Hug your legs tight and sweat. The hair is shaking like a sieve. There was no escape. He was forced to undergo several. He collapsed and stared at the black shadow on the ground, approaching yourself inch by inch. Pa-pa Pata. The echo of Pata's last footsteps dissipates. The shadow stopped right in front of him. Can't remember me, the shadow talks. It was a man's voice. Unlike the beast he expected to serve, the voice was unexpectedly low, gentle, and calm. The dead guy hasn't had time to react yet. An order does not come quickly. Looking up is like a spell that is hard to defy. Under the strong momentum of a man, dead guy involuntarily opened his trembling eyes. Slow head up. A very oppressive figure, blocking the faint moonlight shining through the window. The only remaining light. The man's figure. Draw an eerie outline. Tear pupils. Suddenly expanding a pair of wings. The man has a pair of huge wings on his back. The duck-colored feathers of the scenery are splashed with ink, reflecting the golden moonlight, spread out like a god. Unquestionable master. A red light flashed in the blood-red pupils. Man looks down in admiration. A quibble. Cover every trace of despair on your face. Panoramic view. Damn Thurso shaking like a sieve at a man's feet. He covered his mouth as tightly as he could. Don't let yourself exclaim your birth. He saw. That delicate face evoked a menacing smile. Demonic like a blood-red flower growing on a corpse. Men speak very slowly, word by word intriguing. How ungrateful, like a condescending king. In that bloodline, It contains a mystery that makes people can't help but kneel down. Who is this guy? I don't know, but he knew he had nowhere to go. He's literally cornered. Puzzled surprise. There is a greater fear. All kinds of complex emotions surged in his heart. Just then, and the man's hand goes up to his forehead, like I'm going to gouge out his eyeballs. Fear peaks in half a second. Damn it, I subconsciously want to turn my head. I want to raise my hand to block. The body is severely restrained by an invisible force. Can't move. No, please don't. Don't kill me. I don't know anything. I almost stopped in a hurry. Unexpected. The moment a man's fingertips touch his eyes, the torn pupils suddenly contracted. A beam of dazzling white light flashed before my eyes. It's like time travel. This lost season. Suddenly like a flood of Jedi. Crazy flooding into his brain. That midnight lonely and sleepless because of unwillingness. That blood-red craft paper appeared out of thin air. That strange life I inexplicably recall. And his quirky tone. The name signed in a daze. And the bright red fingerprints in the dark. And finally that fades away. The laughter that succeeds in the confusion and darkness. No reaction events. All the forgotten details are brought back. The face that tore open the Peking opera became pale in an instant. Like a withered flower beaten by frost. It's all late. That thing came for him. The strength of men is amazing. He lifted the lid off the ground like a chicken, then involuntarily put this pocket villain. Hold firmly in your arms. The huge black fish instantly closed in. The two thin wrists were easily stalled by the man. The aura of life and death in the air was extremely terrifying. Dead guy realized desperately, I have been completely trapped in this arms. I'm really going to die here. His life flashed before his eyes, from a carefree childhood to the increasingly independent youth. After trying my best to become a grandmother, everything you have, in the end, it all turned to ashes in the void, condensed into a powerful man's aura in front of him. Facial, when you should be trembling and out of breath, give up the struggle. Close your eyes and prepare to die. The man just moved ambiguously close to his ear. Dead cover cold raid. A teasing tone. In the silent darkness, the pupils reflecting a strange red light. Repeated nostalgia for death in Gaijin. On the face that seems too embarrassing. The man delicately spits out cold air in his ear. I remember him summoning the devil for a while. There is a price to pay. I was in this overly intimate position. Tear apart and tremble in the arms of a man. His thin body was as soft as if he had lost his muscles and bones. Can only be picked up and looked directly at the devil. That gradually became fiery and weird sight. Treat like a baby. The man gently kissed his lips. Intoxicated and affectionate, covered with human feelings and justice. Rapid pupil constriction. I had no idea what was going on. Misty moonlight. He hears demonic tendencies, ha ha ha. Now I'm taking what I deserve. Drink Wang Laoji in an auspicious year. Drink Wang Laoji in an auspicious year. Are you alright? Are you alright? Are you alright? Are you okay? Are you okay? Ha ha ha. Now, I'm going to do what I deserve. The devil had a hand on his wrist. Wrap his waist into his arms. The other hand caught him off guard. Neck. The air is filled with the cold demonic energy of saints. The wrists have the nape of the neck. The beggar has been completely crushed by this demon. No matter how desperate and fearful Jihao is, there's nothing he can do. Breath gasping for breath, chest to chest, half warm, half cold. You should be able to feel the magic energy from all directions, but it was firmly pinned from beginning to end. There is no room for resistance. Signal, 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 signal. Signal, signal, signal. Signal. This is a long question. Demons don't seem to breathe at all. The long entanglement is almost suffocating. I don't know how long it has been. Men are soft in their arms. The staring villain picked up. Gently placed on a pet to the side. All struggles are in vain. In front of the demons from hell. Fragile human. It is simply one that can only be. Feel free to play with dolls. Man action. It didn't stop because of the resistance of the person in my arms. Then increase the force and tear open. Hear unknown fluid stirring in the body. Sticky sound. Mixed with his own crying voice. A strong sense of shame engulfed him like a tide. New number, new number, new number, new number, new number. No, new number, new number, new number, new number, new number. Good. Open your eyes and look at me. The air is flooded with temperament. The man whispered softly in his ear. The rest of the action is violent and straightforward. No mercy. And then here's a modal particle. Like a oh hey. 66,666. The sensitive points of the whole body are fully controlled. The rhythm of the siege. The subtle friction between the clothes. Black ear deliberately teases death cover. Floating and sinking in the Imperial Sea. The devil seems to understand how to set this body on fire, how to make the little person in your arms feel happy, when the figure and the breath are intertwined. Tear. The man's deep confession rings in my ears. You are mine. Forever moonlit night without wind. Fangyang Eye of the Qin dynasty. Ah. Genie accompanied by a cold and violent surprise. He heard the voice of the devil in his ear waiting for me to cover. I will come back again. The curtains are windless and the moonlight returns to brightness automatically. A second ago, it was only a demon with a dead cover. Turned into 1,000 strands of silver in an instant. Disappear with the wind.